Alrighty. Welcome one and all to the inaugural round of the 2020 ESR Academy Series. Starting off here at Monza. We have a pretty great showing today. 20 drivers out here. 3 minutes to go in qualifying. This is Ayrton Tobin.
Sorry, go ahead.
Right here alongside your co-host,
surprised.
Justin Swan and Cole McRae. Well, they're gonna.
Hey, what happened?
Justin, why don't you tell us a little bit about this? Because you kind of organized this whole thing.
Hi, I'm Justin. So, yeah, we organized the ACC Academy. This is actually season 4. There was 3 seasons before I was involved with it. And it kind of went defunct for a while, and there was a need for it. So I spoke with Martin and Mike about it, and we're here bringing you a new season of the Academy. To mirror some of the real life Academy series, there's the ST SuperTrofeo series. So we figured it'd be a good idea to get a car out there that a lot of people don't have another reason to race. It's a good platform to learn on because you really have to learn how to control the car. And so we've got a nice little sprint series here, 40-minute races to get everyone set up and on the way. Get them on their road to pro.
What would you say the Super Trofeo, how do you think that compares to the normal cars you're used to seeing, the GD3 ADAC cars?
That's a good question.
Or long pane?
More or less, they're about 2.5 to 3.5 seconds off at most tracks. It's really dependent. It's a bit of a heavier car. So the Super Trofeo has a 2,800 pound dry weight in comparison to about a 2,650, 2,700 pound weight of a GT3, sometimes less. And so you really gotta wheel it around to get the most out of it. This course, I would expect them to be doing, we see the pole right now is a 53 flat. And if you were to have a pro series on this, you'd probably see anywhere from a high 49 up to about a 52. So they're not that far off, but there's not a lot of places to make a ton of mistakes here. So it's a good track to start the season off, I think.
And as far as driving aids go, traction control, ABS, anything, do these cars have any of that compared to the GT3s?
Yeah.
Yes, they do have their traction control. They do
Good
have
question.
ABS from the factory. Interestingly enough, with this car, the traction control it feels a bit different than a normal GT3 car. So there was a little bit of an adjustment period with that. It's fairly it's aggressive to start, but it's very weak in its actual traction control. So it's
Okay,
a bit
so
of a
it doesn't-
challenge. They can get sideways.
So it doesn't have the full effect, you would say, mayhaps.
Yeah, it's quick to kick in the low speeds, but it doesn't feel like it's quite there in the high speed stuff. So if these drivers are really trying to get out of, say, the very first chicane, you'll feel the traction control kick in, the motor bog down. But going through something like Lesmos or Ascari, you might as well not even have it on. It doesn't feel like it works at all in those sections. So it's very low speed dependent.
Okay, and then tell us a little, maybe a bit more about the rules of this series. So are there mandatory pit stops? Are there, do they have full penalties and stuff enabled? I imagine so.
Yeah, so it's standard track limit penalties and all the stuff that comes with that. There's no mandatory pit, so we figured with a 40-minute race, they'd be getting towards where the pit window would end in a typical hour to an hour and a half race.
Mhm.
And we thought it'd be good to get them a full window of what it feels like to go through the meat of a tire. So it gives them a little bit of strategy to go into conservation or to go all out, which for this track, that would be the left rear. Drivers have been complaining all week about the left rear tire overheating here. So it'll be interesting to see who plays it safe and who just guns it and how that one plays out.
Yeah, Monza has a lot of, or really 2, very high-speed right-hand corners. That'd be Parabolica and Primera. Is that what it's called? I forget. But yeah, okay. So very interesting.
Well, looks like qualifying has ended with Rachel Guerin up front. That is not too surprising. We had a little bit of shakedown last week, and she was pretty dominant up front. We'll see what kind of challenge she gets from McLaughlin, but this is obviously a race where we're looking to see, who has the cleanest race. That's really going to be key there. I think we saw every single driver spin at least once, if not multiple times during the shakedown, so I would put the odds on Guerin, but I mean, we'll see who can keep the tires pointed straight.
Have we seen Juan Ramos show up yet? No?
Not today.
No, unfortunately, I don't see him in attendance. He did sign up for the series, and we've got 20 of the 26 attendees with 1 official sign out, so
Still a strong showing.
still
Yeah,
a strong
pretty strong.
showing.
Yeah, so I know in past years we've had people sort of acting as coach, obviously not official, but people giving tidbits and pointers to the drivers in the academy. That's kind of part of the point of this series, I think. Are they continuing that trend with this 4th season?
So it's a yes and a no answer. Unfortunately, part of the
Makes sense.
problems with it in the yeah, with part of the problems of it in the past was it led to a really restricting time commitment from everybody to try and meet with each person and do all that. And so what sounds like it's rather simple really ends up catching up over time. And so what we decided was a more broad brushstroke approach, and that's going to be race breakdowns and everything we can do to try and get as much information to as many drivers as possible, so
Makes
that
sense.
way it's instead of spending 10 hours a week with every driver, it adds up. It's too many man hours. But we do have plenty of people volunteering, so please, if someone needs help, they're more than welcome to contact me, and I can get them set up with myself or any other volunteers that can put some time forward.
Excellent. Shout out really quick to Matt Sendit, who starts strong with his calling card. Send it. I mean, Monza turn 1 might be fun with that kind of attitude, but well, I guess we'll
let's
see.
hope we can keep it clean here. Certainly, no one wants to show up to an academy and get wiped out on the first lap.
I gotta say, it's a little bit interesting that they chose Monza as the first official race. I mean, nothing wrong with getting the hard or the tricky, shall we say, situations out of the way first, but it's gonna be a little bit of a trial by fire, I think. I mean, the shakedown went pretty good, so I hear, but
colorful grid out there. I know this Lamborghini only gives you one option, so everyone brought their own colors today. I'm liking the look.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yep. Really hope
Interesting,
everyone sticks with their color throughout the season. Please.
What's interesting, yeah, like
we can make that official.
In a lot of different one make series, the cars have actually many different liveries. I'm kind of surprised that this only has one official one.
That is especially strange, considering it's just a single car field. Like, you would think the creators would be all about just throwing down those liveries.
Going nuts. Yeah.
Nope.
Well, it's interesting. I actually, funny coincidence. I had a little bit of insomnia this morning, and I just hopped on my motorcycle and rode a little bit, and I happened to cross a Lamborghini Huracan Spider.
Really?
But
I've seen that one around
kind of an
before.
interesting sight. A white one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what a small world, I suppose.
All right. Well, counting down. Exciting driver to watch for, Andres Lukitis in 5th place.
Lukitis.
Very fast. Let's see if he can make up some spots here.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the race, and Lukitis is has put down some really nasty being good lap times in the past, but he's struggled a little bit with consistency. I mean, that's really the name of the game for a lot of racing series, and Cole McRae, I set some fast laps sometimes. I know, strange, but sometimes I do struggle with consistency as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers evolve, and maybe we can see their personalities kind of come through in this first race and take hold of how they improve.
So, is this going to be an entire opening lap?
No, it's just
last
parabolic.
turn. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, the tricky part is going to be seeing how do you handle this. That's part of the academy as well.
Already
Garrett
is the
ready
lineup
to go.
getting a little bit strange. Well, in this game the pole sitter has to maintain a minimum speed, or else it threatens to penalize
everyone's
you.
Supposed to be. Our man here in 2nd place isn't really keeping up. He needs to be. Everyone.
Yeah, this is
get up there.
Kind of strange.
Unfortunately, we should have a nice length here to the starting line.
Any chance we could go to broadcast hood?
Yes, indeed. All right,
Maybe.
we're away.
All right, and green flags. 40 minutes, round 1 of season 4 of the ESR Academy. This is our first race in Assetto Corsa, right?
All right, I believe that pink. I know the
Okay.
gray car is Foster, and I believe the pink might be Below or Faye. Either way, one of them was making a nice move.
So McLaughlin holding on to Garin pretty consistently. I forget what their differences in qualifying were, but definitely not letting her have any extra
McLaughlin.
room.
All right, I know.
Ooh, making a dive maybe? No?
I know Justin put some good videos out there for his drivers on, you know, breaking out every turn, where to pass and whatnot, and that has already been put to the test.
Yeah, I don't know if he just got out of control a little bit, but he looked like he was weaving just before the first chicane. So we'll have to sort of see
All right.
how this continues.
Suarez, D. Suarez. Is this possibly the Daniel Suarez of NASCAR? Nice to see him joining us in the academy today.
I think so, yeah.
All right. I mean, already we're off to a good start between these two. I'd like to check back in the field a little bit here, but let's see what sorts out up front first.
Looks like Belong and Lakudis are having a good battle just based on the times, but we're not even through lap 1 yet. So. Ooh,
all right.
wrong
It
side.
looks like in the back, there really only Low looks to have a gap. Perhaps they had some incidents. We might get take a look at that at the start.
McLaughlin around the outside.
Around
of
the
Garin,
outside.
Garin. And we are 3 wide.
Oh
as Suarez
boy,
makes that
here we go.
inside. What a majestic sight, ladies and gents.
Wow.
All right. Okay, turn 1. Here's gonna be a true test. Car control.
So Suarez was now
Who's
crossing
gonna back
the
out?
line.
Is anyone gonna back out? Is the question.
It looks like one
they're
of
gonna
them's
have
thinking
to.
about
All right. All right. On the
We're-
inside, Suarez.
No, McLaughlin is
All
the
right.
bravest of the bunch and makes a dive on turn 1.
Yeah, but nicely done. Suarez kind of, you know,
Primera Variante.
parted out of the way. That was beautifully handled by all three.
Wow. And Larry Foster snuck in the back and took care of the
Exactly.
opportunity.
Now
All right.
Lakudis
Already
is-
we've seen
is
probably the
just
best
in
and
time.
cleanest opening lap yet in ESR.
So already we're seeing the gap to Lakudis widen considerably. I wonder if he got snubbed out at Primera Variante.
I'm not sure. I'm seeing. Let's take a quick look back at an accident with McIntyre. All right.
Oh, what happened there? Okay, not too
Okay.
bad.
Just a little
Looks like
anxious
you have to
getting
take
into the
another.
turn, but no harm,
No,
no
that's
foul.
yeah, that's one of the cleaner incidents I've ever seen at Primera.
So take back. All right. Something happened on the start to Low. It would appear. Skylar Donaldson also.
Looks like there's a is that Picha? Yeah, Picha spun.
Yep. Something
Wait,
happened
no,
back there.
that's not right. No, it's not Picha.
But up front. All right. Now it's McLaughlin's turn. Take the lead.
David Nelson is hot on the tail of Faye for 8th place. See if he comes out in front. Oh no, looks like he spun somehow.
All right. We've got a clear 4-car breakaway here. See what Lakudis can do. See him below.
To get you some more information on one of those spins, it looks like Skylar Donaldson has some severe damage to the front, so maybe a curb bit him, but his
You
race
know
is
what?
hampered.
I think we can find a replay of that.
So in
Donaldson,
this game,
this is
you're
not a good sight. Okay, no.
what is this? Was this Curva Grande?
Yeah.
So this sim Assetto Corsa Competizione allows you to is that Donaldson?
That might have been the opening lap. I think that might have been Low we were looking at there.
No, I don't think so, because that was just recent.
That was
like
Bellotti.
we saw that car.
Yeah, that was Bellotti.
Yeah. But anyway, in this sim, you're allowed to teleport back to the pits in the event of an accident. And it holds you for
hold
a long
on.
time.
Garin has taken the lead. Let's go a little bit back in time. See what happened there.
Okay.
We lost the leader, McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin just disappeared. What if you had an internet connection error?
He's in the pit lane.
Ooh,
currently.
that was a bold move.
Yep, I'm seeing.
Behind Garin. What was that, Davis?
Let's see. This was the replay, hoping to catch it, but
This is
nothing
a long
there.
replay.
So
Well, we caught it. I think he just disappeared, right?
Yep. So let's track down McLaughlin. I saw McLaughlin pulled into the pits. McLaughlin
He's
is
exiting
exiting the
pit
pits.
lane right now.
Wonder what that could have been for.
I don't know.
Could have been a drop. He is from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Let's see. What happened to Suarez? Suarez in 18th now. What happened? Wasn't he battling with Garin, or no, Foster as he come into the last? No, sorry, that was Lakudis. Although shout out to
Car looks
Lakudis.
okay.
Well, it could be that he just came out of pit lane and that's you know, he just got something fixed, perhaps. Although Lakudis is certainly making progress, back up to 3rd. He was down in 5th, I believe, for a while, and is now only 2 seconds off of the 2nd place Foster.
I think Rachel's looking to check out here. She just set the fastest lap of the session with a 1:54.1, which is 4/10 faster than Larry in 2nd place behind her. So she's looking to put some distance out early.
Well, and he's got 2 seconds added to his time since we last saw him. So, you know, he was about 2.4, I think, and now he's up to 4.7. Now Lakudis is likewise falling from Foster, it seems like.
Lakudis seems to be under attack from Fenric as well. He's putting the moves on him, closing that gap real quick.
Move right here. I mean, giving up, but frankly, there's still a lot of time left. Win may be out of the books, but she can make up. If she gets you know, if the car is damaged, if you get it righted with full speed, you can make up a lot of ground here.
Well, and not to mention, if your car is damaged, it's much easier to get into another accident and further, you know, stifle your own pace. So
I've got some pit lane words from the crew of Daniel Suarez. He says that he was involved in an incident under braking where he came up to a slower car and it seems to be some kind of accident. So he's out of the race. He said the car is unsalvageable.
Ah, darn. Alright, well, that puts Foster back up front and Lakudis up in 2nd.
So, as you noted before, Lakudis is kind of a, you know, he can kind of go either direction as far as pace goes. It'll be, because he made some good time off of Garin when she was in 1st, I believe. No, it was someone else, but it was maybe actually also been Foster. But, you know, that can go both ways. He also lost an equal amount of time in the next lap. So, with 30 minutes to go, we hold our breath and wait.
I think he's definitely shown 1 lap speed. Some of the qualifying he did for 3D Wednesdays, as well as the Sunday series. He was able to put the car up there, you know, in the top 20 of a 40-car field. But it seemed like he was struggling in, you know, containing it in the pack as well as keeping a pace up that wasn't too hard. If he can rein it in, he's gonna be real good out there someday. So we'll see what happens by the end of the season.
Of note, Skylar Donaldson presented with a 30-second stop and go penalty. So that's a forced pit stop, and not only do you have to do that, but you don't get to repair anything.
We'll replay of Gaio here. Oh,
I don't know what that was.
Someone.
That didn't look possible.
You know what? We're gonna get a better shot of that here. Just a little slow exiting at Ascari, and unfortunately the driver behind
that looked to have been a.
Didn't think he was gonna be going that slow.
I think that might have been a combo error by the other driver that looked like low, maybe. But it looked like an error by Low, but also looked like maybe a little bit of a network issue because Low hit him pretty hard, but not hard enough to send him tumbling, basically.
Well, we find McLaughlin and Garin, our 2 fastest drivers, at the back of the field. Let's see what they can do in the next 28 minutes.
I mean, testament to the old adage, slow is fast, right? I mean, you gotta...
A little bit of a shout out to Faye, who's up in 4th. Worked their way forward nicely.
Do like that livery.
Yeah, it looks like it belongs on a Diablo.
Right? I was just gonna say that.
If I see a yellow Lambo, it has to be a Diablo.
Larry is slow on the inside of Parabolica. He's. There's something going on.
Oh my. Let's take a quick little replay here. It looks
Oh,
like
that is not a happy huracan.
this is 30 seconds back, so this has been going on for a while, actually.
Well,
ooh, looks
no,
like a Scary might have been him.
He's just been hobbling. I wonder if they might have gotten the same bit of trouble as Garen did a few laps ago. Yeah, that is not a happy car.
No, it looks like attrition is going to be a much
Oh,
bigger
no.
factor than
And immediately,
Oh, and something else happened. All right, but you know what? Just get in the pits, yeah, everyone. There might
That
not
was
be a
some
mandatory
classic-
stop, but you know.
that was some
get in there.
classic, just pure mid-engine oversteer right there. I believe, who was that? Was that Send It? That might have been Matt Send It
Oh
who
man!
ended up
and
spinning.
with that, Lykutis takes over the lead with Belong in second.
Can we just can we just verify that Matt Send It is that purple, that black and purple one? 14th
let's
place.
go down there. That is. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's him. Okay, that's all I wanted. Thank you very much.
There's so much going on right now. Even this, the scoring doesn't seem to be updated.
I believe Matt Sendit is in the pit lane.
Yeah.
His car
Yep.
is black and blue.
Yeah.
It's well, we saw him lose it around Parabolica,
Yeah,
and then he
it
got
was black and blue.
curbed pretty hard by, I believe that was Foster. No, it was a green car. I don't remember. But yeah, he got
All right.
T-boned.
Donaldson has served his stop and go.
I mean, aside from disqualification, stop and go is probably one of the worst penalties you can get.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Just-
What has just happened to Lykutis? Did he drop? Yes.
I believe Lakutis
Yeah.
lagged out.
Unfortunate.
Lost
Well,
connection.
our leaders are just struggling today.
It seems like no one really wants to be there because once
No,
you get
all
there,
right,
it's
Mr.
just
Balone.
tragedy.
This is your race.
Lakutis is in Argentina?
I believe, but I don't think he's had a single drop yet with us. It's
Oh.
very unlucky.
Ah,
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Like the Pepto-Bismol car of Farang Belong.
All right, McLaughlin and Guerin are now consecutive on the track. Although, looks like there's a pretty hefty gap between them.
Josh McLaughlin of Josh McLaughlin Racing Incorporated.
You love to see it. I think as of right now, one of the hard chargers is Sam McIntyre. I want to say he qualified in the rear half of the field, and he's worked his way up steadily to 7th without incident.
Yeah.
So he's putting in the time. He's putting in the work.
The people in the top 8 perhaps are definitely benefiting by all the leaders having incidents with each other. I wonder. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think also Ryan Gonzalez started from the rear of the field. He was complaining of head pain and injuries, or sickness. So he managed to get in the car, and he's worked his way up to 8th. So.
I wonder aloud what John Picha in 17th place is in the pit stop. I wonder aloud what he has, what's been following him. He's been a pretty steadfast member of a bunch of our other series, at least to say the Sunday series. It's always good to see him here, but I wonder what happened to force him into the pits.
I don't know. You know, the question is, would you rather start out the academy season a little slow and steady and gain speed, or start out fast and
Zach
wild
Bennett
and gain steadiness?
almost losing it.
And
Sorry.
the answer is, I don't know. You know, that's your personal journey. There's really no correct path.
Tip of the hat to Zach Bennett, who just had a nasty slide
Yeah.
through Parabolica, but was able to lock it up and keep it off the wall. So, I mean,
Can't say I've taken Parabolica in a number of GT3, GT4, and whatnot cars. Definitely never driven it in this SuperTrofeo. Is there something particularly tricky about Parabolica there, Justin? I know you've driven this track with this car.
Yeah, so the ST tends to have a transitional, like a weight transitional problem. So it teaches good throttle and brake control, because if you're not easy between, off the brake and onto the throttle and all in between, the rear end tends to want to get a little skatey mid-corner, and you'll see that coming through the first and second Lesmo.
I was about to say, those turns to me are the absolute hell of this track, especially for a car weighted like this. But We haven't really seen anyone struggling there.
And he goes off in Lesmo 1, speaking of which, but is able to recover.
Commentator's curse.
Right.
Nah, that I would take that any day over struggles I've had with Lesmo. That was
Yeah,
you've driven the Porsche GT3 at Monza and had, you know what that's like, even more rear weight bias.
Yeah, just about. If believe it or not, this is closer to a Porsche than you would expect in rear weight bias. The official factory listings say at a dry weight it's as high as 58% rear distribution. So it's got some booty, as some of the drivers have said. But it's the platform as a whole is a little more. The chassis feels more balanced than what you get with a Porsche. So.
And like you said, that they don't have any they have traction control, but it's most of the time worthless at medium speeds. So that probably contributed.
Yeah, it's anything after first or second gear. The traction control feels numb. It doesn't feel like it's going as hard as some of them are, especially drivers cranking it up to 5 to 6 out of 7 options. So.
Well, let's check in on the leader of the group that has dropped back. That is McLaughlin up to 10th. Although Lowe is also 11th, considering he started like 20 seconds behind after the opening lap in last place. Not bad.
Not at all.
The power of not driving through the pit lane. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, keep coming back to it, but consistency is key. Even if you're slow, if you can just drive consistently, but even a couple seconds off per lap, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of laps to it doesn't take a lot of laps of just consistency to override a pit stop, or even especially one that has to do repairs or a stop and go penalty. So
looks like McLaughlin has really caught the back of the field now. You can see those gaps. Gonna start catching up to people. Lodi, bit of a fight here.
I like that. I don't know if it's intentional, but I pray it is, that Belotti's car is very reminiscent of the Lamborghini Gallardo Valentino Balboni edition, with the off-color stripe with a gold substripe. Very, very nice, if that is true. Valentino Balboni was Lamborghini's test driver for, I think, almost 40 years. He retired in the late 2000s, I believe. And
really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I thought that story was going to go somewhere much different. Happy you ended it with he retired.
No, he didn't die. I mean,
usually those test driver stories go down a different route.
I mean, hold on. Wikipedia will be my guide.
Oh, setting up a nice pass here. So gets it done before they even hit the braking. Nice. Alright, we're halfway there. Anything that's stood out to you looking at your academy here, Justin? Oh, wait, something's going on.
That looks to be McIntyre.
I think that was McIntyre, no?
Nope.
Was
Gonzalez, the one behind Gonzalez. Bellotti? No, that's not Bellotti. No, that is Bellotti. That's not the one who caused the accident. No.
well, I'm not sure, but we got some fun
I'll
going
just
on
shut
here.
up.
James.
McLaughlin making a pass around James.
Yep.
Curva Grande.
Up to 9th. Nicely done.
Ooh.
That was I wanted to say Faye.
You want to switch to relative timings?
Yes. If I can figure that out.
A U, I, and O. No big deal. Oh. It was maybe Matt Send It or Faye.
Okay, it is Faye. So Faye is in 13th, but I believe a lap down. Yeah, so that's like
Yes.
ahead.
To go back to your previous question, some of the names in here I haven't had too much of a chance to speak with one-on-one, and I'm really surprised to see that the mid pack seems to have found some consistency.
Oh, looks like
So
Below took some damage. Which is interesting, because that looks like head-on damage. Maybe it was rear-ending someone under braking while lapping a car, perhaps? Because
Don't know.
that nose looks... Ooh.
No, it's definitely bent out of shape. I mean, we can see on Palmer's car behind that there's no gap in those panels, so there must have been something averse or amiss.
Is that just black paint, or is that actually a jarred
No,
panel? I can't tell.
His car was completely pink without any like black
Okay.
on the front at least.
Interesting.
I think it's part of the plastic covering that goes over the radiator that's inside that's inside the front there.
Alright, so yeah, Below's taking a little bit of damage, and this gap, well, the head closed and suddenly it's opened back up.
Oh, and he's going wide through a Ascari. Ooh.
Everyone
aero
goes wide
problems.
to a Ascari.
It looks like Palmer's looking to pounce on it though, but his car might have a few scratches on it itself.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, Justin, you were saying just a few seconds ago before that incident kind of happened.
I was just saying that I'm very surprised there were some drivers that came out and were running a bit faster than I had predicted. So we had some standout speedsters, but unfortunately, all of them have run into some sort of problem. It's incredible the way
okay, we'll say
fate
for
seems
Garen.
to take it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, and I
Replay
mean,
that.
there's many aspects of racing that. What are we watching here?
Well,
Oh, a little
replay.
slide.
Nice little save from Garen.
Okay. But there's many different aspects. I'm sure you
Oh,
know.
no!
Oh, and we missed the spin.
Alright.
So okay.
Looks like coming out of
Lesmo
Lesmo.
2. Lesmo 2. That she's had problems with that corner before.
Alright, but kept the car clean this time. You know, I know this feeling. You've messed up once and starting to push harder and harder to catch back up, and that leads to a second mistake.
Oh yeah, they multiply. Accidents multiply. Mistakes multiply.
And a big problem, I was just gonna note, or not big problem, a big element of race car driving, at least on an endurance or circuit perspective, is just not only consistency. Of course, speed is an element, but also getting, being able to keep your nerves under control and to be able to manage your kind of emotions. It's easy. I've done it before to make a mistake and then be like, oh crap, I gotta, I shouldn't have done that, idiot. I gotta, go extra fast to make up for it. And you can easily find yourself compounding the mistake into, another one in a few corners afterwards, or something of the like. So that'll be something that it'll be interesting to see how the drivers can reconcile their emotions and with their different driving styles.
I'll tell you what I really like about the SuperTrofeo Cup. The fact that every onboard camera is in the same position. You don't have to wonder what you're going to get like some of the GT3 cars. Also the fact that it's a good position.
Yeah, that's
some
a
of
good
the
camera
GT3
angle.
cars.
The Bentley camera angle is absolutely garbage.
I think the Mercedes, it's either the Mercedes or the Lexus, is pointed too far at the driver or something. You can hardly even see out the window. Some of them are pretty bad. But this one is probably the best I've seen yet.
Interesting that Josh McLaughlin's gloves say Nissan Nismo on them.
That is very interesting.
Maybe it's recycled from earlier in his career.
Yes. Well, he is in fact driving the Lamborghini SuperTrofeo Nismo.
Yes.
Oh yes, the Nismo package.
Yeah.
Rare to see those in the States. I thought that was an Asian market exclusive.
This car sounds nice. Looks like Belodi is right back up on Gonzalez.
Belodi's, yeah, the purple one. Donaldson back into the pits again. He had a stop and go penalty a while ago, but I wonder if he had an accident and maybe incurred a little bit of damage to the Lamborghini.
Alright, McLaughlin's catching these two. honestly, what? We've got 13 minutes here. It's going to be a 13-second gap up ahead, Bellotti.
Yeah, and with 13 minutes, it looks like Below is trying to soldier on, and Palmer hasn't really been able to capitalize on that, but he's having some mistakes. Just now he had a slight off on the inside of Parabolica, so...
Indeed. Let's take a look at what kind of lap times they're running here. Last lap for Bellotti, a 156.4. Let's take a look at McLaughlin. Alright, so he's got a 155.1 versus 157. 157. Okay, so, yeah.
Maybe the timetable would be a good option.
So at the moment, McLaughlin is running just under 2 seconds a lap faster than most of the rest of the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure if if he has enough time though. It's gonna be tough.
I don't think
so.
so.
If he can make this happen, he could maybe step on the podium, but it would be a
yeah. Well, I think a win may be out of the books, but
yeah.
Yeah, you know, once he gets by Gonzalez, which I'm going to assume may just happen. Oh, don't get into the
a bold pass. But it makes it work.
Nice.
Oh, it looks like Bellotti ended up,
alright.
yeah, getting out, maybe out braking himself a little bit.
So
Josh
if
right
McLaughlin can get by Gonzalez, there's going to be about a 13-second gap up to 5th. That's gonna take a few laps to get through. You know, 6 laps there. So might come down to the end. Although,
I don't think a top 5's out of the question, but it's going to be special. It'll be a special drive.
Indeed. Well, he should be in some clean air after this. Although I don't know. Inside of Lesmo, it's an aggressive one. Gets it done.
It was just a little outbreak there.
Maybe it's my scarring days from the 9/11, but outbreaking into Lesmo is not 2 words I like hearing together.
No. Neither the curbs either on the inside that he managed to take.
Ooh,
luckily,
that was impressive. That was lucky.
Yeah. Luckily, this car is surprisingly forgiving on the steeper curves. But ironically enough, some of the curbs that are safer in other cars, this one tends to have trouble with. So it's kind of weird finding where the grip is on the track limits for this car.
You know, we haven't checked in on Rachel for a bit, but I'm going to assume there have been at least another spin, because that gap has been remaining solid to low, so...
Well, I was just going to mention that when there was a break. I mean, we still see her struggling in Lesmo slightly, getting a little bit wide, or a little bit unsteady, shall we say.
Well, she had the pace. I'm sure she's going to be a little disappointed coming out of this race. You know, not just the spin, because spins happen. Look at McLaughlin up in 6th, or whatever the incident was there, but just hasn't quite been able to get things back on track. Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah, he's side by side down the straight.
That's Bellotti.
These two were having a good fight before McLaughlin came through, so it makes sense.
Ooh, and then Bellotti does Gonzalez does the exact same thing to Bellotti. Oh, and we see who's that?
Faye, I believe.
Faye. Well, and hopefully the drivers are eager to, you know, learn from their mistakes and what, you know, and to, you know, try to counter them rather than just trying to outdrive them.
Exactly. You know, it's frustrating if you have what feels like a perfect race, and yet you want to gain time. How do you do that? So at least here, there's going to be a lot to learn from.
Well, yeah. I mean, we saw Guerin have a very fast, you know, lap, but I mean, you know, a fast lap means nothing without, you know, without consistency, and that part of that is definitely about learning the car, but also it's about, you know, just recognizing where you have your own issues versus, you know, where can you afford to push extra hard.
Another 55-2. McLaughlin's very consistent.
The other screen will also show you fast.
Oh no, Below is in 5th.
Oh no.
Is this car still damaged? It looks like I still see that gap.
Yeah, well, this is a big dropback, so something clearly happened below. Perhaps
I'm seeing on the timing sheet, he lost 6 seconds off his average pace, so something happened.
I'm seeing an accident with McIntyre. Maybe this possibly? No, doesn't involve the wheel.
Hardly an accident, but
And there's another one for Josh McLaughlin.
Yeah.
McLaughlin?
Yep.
They're around the outside. He's taking no prisoners going into turn 1 today.
It's his stomping ground. He feels confident on the brakes, and so he's taking full advantage of that.
something we haven't talked about at all, Hemian.
Nope. And up in third.
I mean, again, you know,
Also, David
No,
Nelson up in second. Awesome job for David here.
he's been kind of all over the place in the other series. I remember I seen him in our NSU series.
Oh
we did
yeah,
on-
no, he and I have been on banging doors over there, having some good races.
I remember he was at least solid, if not blazing fast. But it's good to see him putting his consistency into putting it to good work.
At the NSU race at Silverstone, Dave and I both had a spin early and fell behind the pack, and then spent the entire race basically bump drafting around the whole thing, trying to catch back up to the pack. It was a lot of fun.
Oh no! Off in Ascari, there's a purple and green car. Big lick coming out of Ascari.
Who could that?
Can we go to relative timing? It's Gaio. It's Gaia.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Big suspension damage. Looks like he's struggling to get the car turned around too.
He's got it rolling
Donaldson
in the right
and-
direction here.
I freely admit I haven't been paying attention. Has Donaldson been in the pits this entire time, or is he just in there again?
In there again.
I don't think he's left. Oh,
He had a drive-through at one point, and then he cleared it, so it looks like he's gone back in.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I saw him go back in a while ago, so I don't know if he's just like chilling out, kind of quasi-retiring, or if he's planning on leaving.
He is.
He's 9 laps down. I would think he's just
for a
been
little
there.
while. Let's see. McLaughlin is now
Um,
what was behind? 6.5 seconds behind. All right, making headway.
looks like Sendit had a small off through Ascari when he came up on Ramiro Gallo. So looks like he collected it and kept it going the right way, but doesn't help his effort to make up some time.
How is the tire drop off on these? It looks to be pretty sharp.
It's,
Well, I mean-
it's
Sorry.
really all in the left rear. It's 100% in the left rear here. You can get around this track in about a 30-minute session and have less than 5% wear on the front right. If I'm being honest, it's insane how much steeper the drop off is on the left rear. It's almost 10 times as fast. So
Yikes, that is rough.
yeah.
No, it's a Lamborghini. Thanks
I
for
like
laughing at that.
Well, Mr. David Palmer up here, first
I
place.
feel like I've also seen David Palmer in other series as well. I can't put my finger on it though.
Let's see if I have.
He might be in the Super Saturday series. I'm not sure. I know we have a couple people that have from the third tier server making the jump over here to get some extra seat time and try to find themselves a little more consistency, a little more lap time, maybe a little
Yeah.
more track comfortability.
Oh, well, I was gonna give us a bit of an outro at the end with the winner's anthem, but I see here it's the United Kingdom, and no, I'm not doing this.
Well,
James Butler's gonna be pissed.
It's great that you mentioned that, the winner's anthem. This series has signups, whether by current location or by birth, from every continent in the world except for Antarctica, which I don't
Come
think
on,
that one
Antarctica,
counts.
get on it.
Yeah, get on it. Where's your race car driver?
Oh no!
We're
No!
off in Lesma too. That's the destroyer of worlds. That turn is, and
He's
Donaldson
having
is
trouble
gone.
getting it off the grass.
And Donaldson is left. We also lost someone else, but I can't tell who.
Well,
it
was that Nelson? I do believe that was Nelson who made it by. Yes, it was.
3
Oh,
minutes
man.
left. That's 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, a little bit.
Let's see what
Yeah, I know
Palmer
you
can
had 2
hang
laps.
on to here, because that was a hard lick.
That was a hard hit.
But-
You're right.
Oh, and Hemium, okay. Oh, this is gonna get exciting at the end.
And he's squirrely through Ascari, and now Cliff is just
Yeah.
running him down.
Absolutely. Now, Justin, question. I know you can rather arbitrarily pick your class when you're creating a team. Is this all arbitrary, the AM versus like the Silver and Pro here, or does this actually mean anything within the academy?
Aren't they all AM?
No, the
They're
red
all-
ones
they're-
are technically AM, where the other ones I think are Pro AM. You can kind
What's-
of choose what you want.
What is
The
the,
red
uh,
are AM and the silver are the gray are considered silver, but
Yeah.
that's only within the system of Aceto.
Yeah, and
So it's
when you're making your custom livery, you choose which one you want. But you're saying that has nothing to do with actual academy standings. It's all the same.
Yeah. Oh, we have another slide coming out, and he gives way.
I think that might have been Palmer. Certainly would make
It
sense
looks
if the
like- it
cars
look-
came
Yeah,
really
it's
well.
definitely.
It looks like Palmer is electing not to go into the pits.
Well, no,
for the,
absolutely not.
Whoa!
I don't
Two
know.
laps
I
to
thought
go?
I don't know.
Oh,
I thought
that's
the
McLaughlin.
point was for consistency.
Oh no!
And so
that
there goes
was.
McLaughlin. Looks like Palmer. I don't know if Palmer shoved him off or if it was just an
We're
awkward
about to find
situation.
out.
The gap wasn't quite there from the helicam view. That
Oh
looked like
no, McLaughlin, that gap
yeah,
was not there.
That was all McLaughlin.
Interesting, because generally Curva Grande is one of the, I don't want to say easiest places to pass, but it's like, it's a giant wide track. If you've got the speed, go around it. If not, you don't have it. You know,
You
it's
made
pretty
The
it
outside
straightforward.
is
Like you
not
made
unheard of there either. You can definitely take it. to the
Exactly, that's what I
outside
mean.
there.
Hey, if you've got the run, just drive around it. You've got all the room in the world. There's no reason to
And
really
it sets
force
you up
it
for
there.
the inside, too.
Well, it looked like Palmer was kind of in the middle of the track. It didn't look like
Yeah.
there was a ton of room on either side.
Yeah, no, Palmer could have stayed tighter on the inside. There's no doubt about that, but I don't think the gap was there.
But then again, his car was also stricken, so I mean, there's a lot of variables up in the air. It looked like just like McLaughlin misjudged it.
Is there any stewarding in this series, Justin, or is it all just live and learn?
There will be some stewarding going into effect. I'll explain. You know, there is a points
It's like there's a-
championship to keep everyone glued.
Interested, yeah.
Looks like a car was just stopped in Parabolica. That looks to be, can't tell. Maybe low?
Yep, might have been low.
Yep.
Certainly slow from Parabolica.
Is the timing mistaken, or is Fenric completely gone off the grid? Thought he was just fading.
You know, I'm only seeing 15 cars total, so no, we've
We've
lost
lost a
5.
few.
Attrition a factor here
Anyways,
for sure.
David Nelson is on his parade lap. Well, let's not get too hasty, I suppose. Taking over the lead has been a dangerous proposition in this race.
Well, all he has to do is kind of cruise through, and he's got this.
Absolutely.
Going into Primera,
So McLaughlin
this
is
is, no,
still
not
in
Primera.
6th.
the second chicane. Looks like he hasn't suffered much damage though. Maybe a smidgen, but not enough to cause him to worry about Gonzalez too much.
David Nelson, of course, home to the no flag, so we don't even know the country here.
He's not. No, it's France. It's a French flag.
Of course.
Get it? It's the white flag. I'm so funny.
I could have sworn I just
Apologies.
heard some tires screeching up ahead of this car. Someone might have locked up quite hard getting in.
Apologies to our French
Sorry.
viewers. ESR does not condone or represent any of the views presented by our commentators.
Going into this final section, McLaughlin might have a chance here to make a second attempt on Palmer.
You
Palmer's
sure? Oh, yep.
limping.
Oh, yeah, that car
Yo,
with
definitely.
that damage is not gonna like.
Oh, he's
Parabolica.
going through a
In fact, it doesn't
scar.
even matter. Definitely
Oh.
could have waited through Parabolica. I think. But either way,
I think could have made
David
it off the
Nelson
straight.
takes round 1. Nice job,
Very
David
nice.
Nelson. I'm not sure
Congratulations.
where he started, but I know it wasn't in first.
Yeah,
So
he
that-
started through mid-pack, I think. I
Yeah.
think he was like 9th or 10th.
Might have actually been somewhere around. I thought it was like 17. I thought it was like Nelson.
Oh, was it?
Somewhere
Oh.
Back.
Well. Maybe you're right.
But David Nelson up front. Who else do we have? Second place, Cliff Hemion. Hemion. I'm not sure. You didn't tell me how to say it, so I'm gonna butcher it. Let's just go with Hermione. Third place, Bennett.
Lakudis is back somehow. 16th place.
Alright, here to claim a nice 16. Picking up those points. Alright, Bennett, I don't think we mentioned your name at all, and you know what? That's a good thing. Had a nice, clean, quiet race up in third place. Belodi, I know we mentioned your name. It was up and down, but to take home fourth, not bad at all. Kind of
McLaughlin
outlasted the rest. McLaughlin,
back up to 5th.
I'm sure McLaughlin blood is probably pumping at this point, both with a little disappointment, but also just the endorphins of that was a solid charge. That was good.
Incredible, down from almost an entire lap.
Still don't know what happened there at the start. We'll have to check in on that later, because we just saw him sitting in the pits. Whether it was a drive-through, this game might give you a drive-through if you cut something too egregiously, perhaps.
Well,
it definitely can do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could have very well been something. No, we didn't see a penalty for being out of position, which surprised me. The way the grid was formed going to the starting line, you would expect to have maybe seen at least some penalty for someone, but nothing there. Well, anyways, there we go. Nelson, Hemion, Bennett, Belodi, McLaughlin, Palmer, Gonzalez, James, McIntyre, Guerin, Lowe, Foster, Fay, Sendit, Gaio, and Lakudis returning.
Lakudis. Yeah, that was a good race. You know, we're seeing already the drivers' personalities shine through, and getting a kind of a graph. Love those wheels of that paint. That is the brightest car I think I've ever seen. Mr. Gonzalez, good job. But we're starting to see the drivers kind of come into their own, and it'll be interesting to see how they revise and evolve and adapt their strategies to reconcile with the car and also different racing strategies. I mean, that pass attempt with McLaughlin, well, both of his pass attempts on Palmer were very bold, we'll say. And then we've also seen other incidents with other drivers, so it'll be interesting to see how it kind of takes shape.
Absolutely. I'm looking at some timing sheets here just to give you an idea of the opposite of that, of a slow and steady type approach. And our second place finisher here, Cliff Hemion, had, of the cars remaining, had the 5th slowest best lap of the race, but he still finished on the podium in second place, fairly securely as well. His
Nice.
best lap of the race was only a 56.77. So not lighting the world on fire, but it just goes to show you that if you can run within a half second of whatever your best is, it's going to pay dividends. So,
Love it.
next
Love
week
to
is
see it.
Brands Hatch, by the way. So,
Ooh.
complete
All right,
flip of the
something
script.
much tighter.
Ooh.
Okay.
That'll be fun too. There are lots of complicated turns. I mean, especially turn 1.
Oof, yeah, that can't be a fun track for this SuperTrofeo.
We're also getting confirmation in the chat that Andres Lakudis indeed lost connection. I was able to reconnect at the last second.
All right.
And David Palmer's car was really unhappy with that crash. He's driving at 90 degrees steering.
Not surprised
believe
there,
it.
but stuck
A
it out.
valiant effort to get it back though, get it home like that. That's not easy.
Still ended up in 6th place. So yeah, considering the extent of the damage, not a bad result at all. Unfortunate, Guerin ended up falling to 10th, but you know, I mean, again, you know, the battle for consistency. She was very, very fast, and 10th isn't bad.
No, considering she had to take an unscheduled pit stop to fix damage, that's a perfectly acceptable charge back in my book. The 10th is better than I think anyone could have hoped for in that situation.
Definitely. Cannot agree more.
All
Looks
right.
like Dave Palmer has joined us.
Have we been joined here? Let's see. Yes, Mr. Palmer, you
Sorry,
are
guys, I just realized
live on the air.
The moron that crashed at the end.
You were
We were
far
just
from
behind
the
a
only one.
valiant effort to steer that thing around for the last couple of laps with it steering allegedly at 90 degrees.
Oh mate, that was just epically bad. Anyway, I didn't mean to jump into your stream. I just thought I could say hello.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay, you're welcome.
well, you know, you took over first place, and that was an absolute cursed position today. So the fact is, you got it to the end. hung onto the car in one piece. Not bad.
Yeah, apart from my steering column or whatever was completely busted. Anyway, guys, I'll jump out. Thanks for organising all this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I hope to see you next week.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, gents.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Cheers.
It's fun to watch.
Absolutely.
That was a nice unexpected appearance.
Yeah, I would. To all future drivers, absolutely welcome hearing from you.
And it actually, now that I think about it, it'd be pretty interesting to have, some of the drivers pop in, just kind of, I mean, obviously we had 20 people in here to get a little bit much, but, to hear their perspective on what's happening. Clearly David was not super happy with his crash, but, it'll be interesting to see if people can kind of get perspective on what's happening throughout the race, and obviously we can only interview him at the end, but maybe we'll have to encourage that.
I'm gonna see if Mr. David Nelson wants to give us a little talk here.
Certainly. Oh,
Boys.
and there's Sam McIntyre.
McIntyre, you're on the air still. We're looking to
Yeah.
get a few interviews in. Did you have anything to say?
Yeah, just real quick. Thanks to Mr. Swan. I put 50 hours on that track last week in practice,
Nice.
and Swan was there for 48 of them. So I want to say thanks to him. I came in 9th, but I mean, whatever.
You did great.
Not a bad position at all.
You did great.
A lot of fun. Yeah, I think I was super slow, and then towards the end there, you get to the point where you can't feel your feet because you're so nervous, and that's an amazing adrenaline rush, and I can't wait to go tear up Brands Hatch.
That should be a fun one. I do believe
It'll be
that's
interesting.
2 weeks from now. Is that correct, Justin?
No, this series is rapid fire weekly stuff. We're trying to get back on track going into the weekends with our schedule. So we're gonna run through this, let this run its course. The Saturday Super Series will run its course roughly in the same time period. We'll see how this all works out. But yeah, this is a 6-week class, month and a half in and out.
That's what I like to hear.
No
Keep
kidding.
moving.
I mean, hey, it's gonna be Ayrton, I appreciate being on this stream with you, and if you allow me, I would love to continue to be on this, provided
Absolutely.
the Sunday series doesn't
Yeah.
take me over. I'm actually really fascinated to see how the drivers evolve through this process, as I've said about 18 quadrillion times so far. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. It's a great series. Justin, you're doing a great job putting everything together, and I think everyone's appreciating it. I mean, just seeing as we've had a couple of people pop in and say hi, I think they're liking it.
I hope so. I hope that the faces that I haven't had a chance to meet personally yet, feel free. I'm available all the time. If you see me down in the channel working on practicing with people, just hop in. I'm more than happy to give anybody a hand, and I'd love to meet everybody personally. So hope you guys stick around the series, and I hope either during the series, after the series, whatever, you guys stick around ESR. There's plenty of great stuff to do, and with ACC being what it is,
I've
you
got
know,
the
hopefully we'll see you out there
up
on
on
Wednesdays
screen.
or whatever.
Got the full ESR calendar up on screen for anyone out there. We do fun stuff. You can ignore all the ACC stuff and focus mainly on the Friday Night Wreckfest. That's come join us. The game is currently half off.
Heck yeah.
And I guess real quick, so we've got Monza. Next up, we've got Brands Hatch, then Zandvoort, Zolder,
Ooh, that's
Misano,
gonna be fun.
and Nürburgring.
That's,
Nice. I
that's
like
the
these
GP
tracks.
layout.
Outside of Monza, should all be some nice kind of little tight, twisty tracks. Zolder will be a fun one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Zolder
yeah.
will be really interesting. It'll be cool to see the drivers try and manage passes on that.
Yeah, no big
I
open.
mean, this is the
turns
pre
there.
F1 version, right?
Mhm.
This is the pre 2020.
Oh, Zandvoort? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is still
Okay.
the classic version.
Alright.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna
Well,
sign off, guys.
with that, we've had Justin here, Cole here, I've been Ayrton, and yeah, hope to see you all back here next week. Tune
Better be
in.
here next week.
Yeah. See you guys.
Take it
Bye.
easy.